Exactly.
But I gotta say something about this guy. He is a true Renaissance man. Okay, he is a jiu-jitsu virtuoso, all right, reinventing the martial art basically, and getting some flack for it from some of the traditionalists. He's a coach in the UFC. He's doing music. And he's also known, and this is one of the reasons I gravitate towards him, as a conspiracy theorist.
I want to talk about that. I
What?
want to know.
Go.
Sorry,
Talk
I
to
want
me.
to know. I want to know about the flat Earth theory because I don't want to say I'm a conspiracy theorist myself, but I do have my conspiracy. Yeah, I dabble around it. So what's with the flat Earth
Yeah,
thing?
Eddie, like a lot of people are like, Eddie, really? But tell us why.
Yes, please.
It's really simple. It's really simple. They lied to us about 6 moon missions, the greatest technological achievement of mankind. They lied to it 6 times. Fake video, fake pictures. I don't believe anything coming from mainstream information, science, mainstream media, entertainment. I think it's all bullshit.
Okay.
Do you have any theories on what happened in Las Vegas? Because I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories revolving around that as well.
Looks like a false flag to me. Looks like a giant cover-up.
But do you say that
Same
about
as
every
9/11,
time that there's like
right?
some
Exactly.
crazy?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
are you, because here's one thing, Eddie, and I gravitate towards your openness towards these conspiracy theories because I myself am somewhat of a conspiracy theorist. But do you tend to do that with every major event?
Every major event that's covered by like CNN and all the major networks, if they're all covering the same thing, you got to look at that like a super suspicious detective. You're not. You shouldn't be looking at it like, hey, this one might be real. Hey, they can't be lying about everything. You know, you got to look at it like this is probably some more.
Where did all this doubt or suspicion stem from? Was there something in your life or something that you saw that just made you really question media?
Skeptical.
Yes.
Well, the first time I questioned media when I was 15, and I was really into like satanic speed metal, underground Slayer, and like Creator and Sodom. Real. They wrote about Satan in every song.
Okay.
But as I'm 15 years old, and I know they're not really into Satan. It's just like a director that's into horror movies. Like, did the guy who wrote The Exorcist, was he really satanic? So we all knew it was just a show. But then on 2020, when I was 15, they put on this episode where they're accusing bands like Motley Crue and Twisted Sister and Judas Priest of being satanic.
Oh,
and I was thinking, I'm thinking, they got the wrong band.
Yeah.
It's not Twisted Sister. How come they're not talking about Slayer?
Right. They're not big enough.
So at that point, I thought, and they have the PMRC, these old ladies going, if your kids are listening to Twisted Sister, they're probably satanic. So right there, I realized, wow, this is ABC, this is Channel 7, this is 2020, and they have no clue. So at that point, that was the beginning right there. And also, finding out that not everybody was Catholic. I was brought up in Santa Ana, California, where everybody in Santa Ana was Catholic. And then when I was 11 and I found out that there's other religions, like there's Muslim, I'm like, wait, what? How do we know that we're right? I thought everybody was Catholic. And then at that point, I'm like, oh my God.
Could you have foreseen that this part of your personality? I mean, you're a regular in Joe Rogan, okay, which has opened you up to a whole new audience. You're on shows, you're on podcasts like Alex Jones's podcast, which is the Chief Conspiracy Theory podcast. Could you ever foresee that would become such a big part of your brand? Because it's enough to say that you're this jiu-jitsu guy that reinvented the martial art and coach UFC guys.
The first band I was in was all, I didn't know anything about conspiracy. This was in the 80s. I was in a band called Resistance, and it was all about conspiracy. But I didn't know, there was no internet.
Hey, he was the resistance before the resistance.
We're resisting too.
They were ahead of their time, honey.
I didn't know what the hell I was talking about back then. I just knew that they were lying, and I had no proof. I'm like, I don't believe, you watch TV, you look at.
Do you actually believe, though, that the Earth is flat?
I don't believe what the mainstream, what's coming from mainstream cosmology. I don't believe it. I'm highly suspicious of it. They fake 6 moon landings. You got to ask yourself a question. How many times do they have to fake stuff like moon missions before you don't believe anything? Me, it's 6. I mean, some people it could be 50. You know what I mean? But there's a documentary the best documentary on it's called The History of Flat Earth. It's by Eric Dubé. Watch that. It's on YouTube. That'll explain that it's not.
I'm going to watch it because I'm interested
this
in
flat
that.
Earth debate has been going on for a long time. They've been trying to suppress it. It's
But
not
Eddie,
nothing. It's
here's
not
one
nothing
thing
new.
I want you to watch,
It's
though.
nothing
I want
new.
you to watch a channel, if you have DirecTV, it's to NASA. It's called Earth Views. It's views from the space station that show the curvature of the Earth.
That's all. Oh, with fisheye lens.
Oh, come on, Dios mío.
Hey, I love it. Go.
That's
Quickly.
true.
People want to believe, they fake 6 moon missions, but people still want to believe it. Look, ISS, we
But how
gotta
do you know
believe
they
it.
fake
You're
the
not gonna
moon?
make any money if you believe that.
Right,
But
right,
this is
right,
just,
right.
you don't benefit.
No, but here you're gonna get challenged.
Wait,
He's
what
used
were
to
you
being
gonna say,
challenged. Go, Bruno.
It's
He's used
just
to being
you
challenged.
saying that they faked the moon missions. Like, how am I supposed to know that 6 moon missions were fake? It just seems.
Oh, you haven't looked into it then. That's all that is.
No, but I
You just
have.
gotta look
I've
into it.
watched all the videos on YouTube that show how they faked it. I don't believe it. So,
Oh, then you're.
To each his own, I guess.
Well, yes.
but there's no definite proof of either one.
There's massive proof.
No,
that
but
they
but you can't. But he's
I want
right
to
on the-
see it. I would love to see
It's
it.
not. I think that it's not definite either way. But I will say this.
I love these debates.
I want you to keep looking into Eddie.
I
You're
love
one of
it.
my favorite guests. Keep coming back. I want to see what the next. You go from one conspiracy theory to another. So in a few months, you'll probably be obsessed with something else. We'll bring you back. We'll talk about it. You'll put someone else
I'm
in a
gonna
headlock.
watch the Flat Earth one. We'll talk about it next
And
time.
congratulations to your success with Tony Ferguson.
Thank
you are
you.
now the
Thank
coach
you.
of a UFC
Oh,
champ, and
thank
you
you.
deserve to be the coach, man. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you
And
for
check out.
being
Oh, by the
here.
way, we didn't even talk about it. EBI Eddie Bravo Invitational this weekend, right?
Not this Sunday, but next
No,
Sunday.
but this airs next week. So this
October
weekend.
22nd.
October 22nd. Where?
At the Orpheum in downtown LA. You can watch it on UFC Fight Pass. Order on pay-per-view, inchbyinch.tv.